Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Media Champions. I'm your host, Mary Trace Griffin in Atlanta. Today, we welcome to the program Steve Bookbinder, who is going to help mesh selling and marketing just for you. Steve, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for saying yes, and thank you for hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit, as we like to say down south, because that means you've got patience, and we appreciate it. Let's talk about what you do for a living because I think oftentimes people they know they have a story to tell and they have to put it out there. So there's the marketing part, but everybody's selling. We're all selling something, and you have to mesh the two together, and that's what you do.
Yeah. So my story is this. I started off as an actor, as a comic, and eventually an improvisational actor, and that led to sales training primarily because I thought, how could I make a living being on stage but not on the weekends during the day? And sales training led me to uh, helping people make more sales. I realized that sales is easy. Everybody knows how to sell. Selling is just having a conversation. But the trick to professional selling is that you deliver a certain amount of sales in a particular period of time. And to do that, you need to manage your pipeline. So over the last 20 plus years, I've had the opportunity of delivering some form of training to more than 50,000 salespeople all over the world across many industries. And at some point along the way, I bumped into digital marketing clients, and I worked with companies, some of which still exist, some don't. But I fell in love with it so much, I left the sales training business, dove into the deep end of the pool with an ad tech company then called 24/7 Real Media, now called Zaxxas. We were bought by WPP. I became part of Group M. And then in 2009, 2010, David Moore, who was a pioneer in the digital business, he asked me to start a training company with him that would specifically benefit people in the what was then the fledgling digital marketing business. And so I had these media clients that I was teaching them how to properly sell their own digital media wares, their services and their offerings. Um, and I had these sort of conventional companies that sold that just needed help selling. And little by little by little, over the last number of years, sales and marketing have become so intertwined that there's no line between them. That salespeople have to be
Right.
marketers, marketers have to be salespeople. And so that led to me discovering a thing called echo selling. Every company in the world is looking for inbound leads. Echo selling is how you can get inbound leads from targeted leads that you're looking for. So I don't only want an inbound lead. I want an inbound lead from the companies that I know that I want to work with.
Well, and I know you have this great echo selling a book as well that people can follow. And what I'm garnering from all of this is that you're showing people more than just the 10,000 foot view, if you will. You're showing them from a 50,000 foot view how they need to take all of this data and everything that they have and put it with their story, put it with the sales, and then bam, you've got magic.
Yeah. Well, you know what? People have to think digitally. That's the way I think of it. And there's certain things that
Mhm.
are natural to digital marketers that are sort of foreign to everybody else. And here's one of them. The customer, even the most qualified customer, may be at the top or the middle or the bottom of the funnel. And so their ability to process the message that the salesperson is trying to explain is different depending on their mindset, depending on where they are in the purchase funnel. And just like consumers, B2B buyers are now more than two-thirds, three-quarters of the way through the buying process before they even talk to a salesperson. But that doesn't mean that they're not influenced by people. So echo selling says, when a salesperson meets with a customer, that's not the sale. No, the sale is after that. The customer then finishes talking to the salesperson and then goes to one of the circle of influencers in their life. And they say something like, I just spoke to somebody from this programmatic company or this SaaS company or this fill in the blank service. And the look on their boss's face or their team's face or their peer's face can kill the sale right there. If they said, I just spoke to somebody who's got this offering and the boss goes, Well, that's it. There's no next step. The salesperson wonders why they're ghosted. They never can get the person on the phone again. And meanwhile, what went wrong? The salesperson didn't think about echo selling. So salespeople have to not only message properly, but they need to message in a way that the buyer, the customer, can echo the sales pitch to the circle of influencers. And the other way around, the salesperson needs to get to that circle of influencers, strategize how to message to them properly so that that influencer can influence the buyer. So it's a circle that we have to do, and it's all about the strategy of messaging and the psychology of how people hear different things depending on where in the buying cycle they are. And so with echo selling, it's not just an idea that I wrote in my garage. What actually happened was I was looking for a way to get a particular company to call me. How can I get them to call me? Not just a warm lead, not just to warm them up and then call them, get them to call me. And I did. And when it worked for me, and it worked, it was one of the biggest sales I ever had. And it worked within a month. I then said, I think I'm onto something here. And I work with clients all over the world. And working with my clients and looking at my own past history with this is how I put this book together. So the book really reflects actual best practices that really work in a field-tested environment.
Well, Steve, I know you're doing it with gusto, and I said just like that, we're out of time. But I do hope that you'll come back on the show. Come back anytime because you are a wealth of knowledge. I know you've got a podcast too. How can people find you on your podcast?
They could find Food for Thought, which sadly there's about 35 other podcasts with that same name, but Food for Thought on their favorite podcast platform, and they'll hear about echo selling and pipeline management and all the digital people who influence me in my life.
Well, thank you for sharing your knowledge again. Open door policy for you, my friend. Come back anytime.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And we're going to make the connect to Steve just for you. You can find him by finding us right here at dailyadbrief.com. I'm Mary Therese Griffin in Atlanta. We'll see you next time for more Media Champions.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.